Okay, just get an audio check done. Testing 1 2 1 2. Cool. Thank you very much, Mike. Just give another minute or two for people to join in. Right, I'm just going to get up the standings for Tier 6 from last week, just so we can run through who is where in the championship. Post stewards from Watkins Glen. So at the beginning of the evening tonight, in the lead of the championship, still as it was last week, is Munkin, and he has a grand total of 86 points, and very closely behind him is Revelit with 84 points. So it's a bit of a two-horse race at the front. So something to look out for with these guys this evening. And then the next three, I think it is 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, pretty much everyone in the top 10 is all pretty close. So Inorganic is in third, Unimo is in fourth, Pusher is in fifth, Benki's in sixth, Gum is in seventh, Falcons in eighth, Lord Hans is in ninth, and I think it's HK is in 10th. So we'll keep an eye out for how everybody does in that this evening. But for now, we have round 4, halfway through the season of ALR, season 20. And we are at, as the big sign in front of you says, Laguna Seca. And I don't know about you, but this was an absolutely brilliant race for us in Tier 4. So I am very much looking forward to what we've got to have to look forward to with Tier 6. I expect the racing is going to be very exciting. So for qualifying then, to start us off, Pusher gets pole with a fantastic time of a 1:23.591. Then in second place is Gum with a 1:23.9, and less than half a tenth behind him is Revelit with a 1:23.946. In fact, it's only 0.006 of a second between those two guys. Fourth, then we have Munkin, still in the 1:23s of the 967. Birds is in fifth, I think that is, yep, with a 1:23.989, and then we're into the 24s with Benki with a 1:24 flat. Lord Hans, oh sorry, I missed that Boulder there, and I've been saying his name wrong the whole time, so it's just Boulder now. So he has a 1:24 flat. Sorry, Benki in front with a 1:23.9. Lord Hans is in eighth with 1:24.1. Inorganic is in ninth with a 1:24.3, and then we have HK rounding out the top 10 with a 1:24.6. After that, Banana's in 11th, Fudo's in 12th, Mike's in 13th, Boyan in 14th, and Gaz in 15th. Obviously, we are one person down this week. but it shouldn't make too much of a difference to the racing. It's should be pretty much a straight soft race for everybody. We'll just run through the grid again to see if anybody decided to go for a medium, and it doesn't look like it, so we'll just skip back to the beginning and we will get the sprint underway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lights out, and it's a good start from everybody apart from, I think it might have been Bird back here. He just got off to a really poor start off the line, but he's looking to make a spicy move down the inside already. Oh, a little bit of contact. Let's just see what happens at the front. Everyone seems to have made it through. Gum has made an absolutely blinding start at the beginning. Let's just jump back up with these guys. So Gum gets a jump on Pusher off the start, and Benke is very close behind, so he's made up a couple of places at least. That's to be expected from one of the Ferraris. Everyone going a little bit wide, but keeping it relatively clean, so good racing from everyone so far. Munken now in 6th place, getting squeezed and pushed all over the place. So he's in 7th place, and gets a little tag on Bird, and Bird gets it again up the backside. So we'll just jump back and see what happened. We'll jump on board so we can see what happened there. Gets a little bit wide coming out of turn 3 and then into turn 4. A little bit of a tag from Munken, and then he recovers well, but then gets Boulder into the side, and I think there was Jansen behind him. So that is a terrible start for the Genesis driver, and it's just a Genesis sandwich now. One at the front, one at the back. Pusher needs to keep it on track a little bit better than that, kicking up some dust, but ultimately doesn't lose out any time there, and he's going to be desperate to make a move back on Gum, but he might just need to bide his time with this one. The Genesis is fast, but it is terrible on tyres, so by the end of this race this could definitely come back towards his hands. So we'll drop back real quick just to see what's happening with everyone else. Lord Hans has got a good gap over Benke behind, and Revelit goes for a dive on the inside but doesn't quite have enough alongside to make it. Then we've got HK in 6th, followed by Munken. Will he get a penalty for going a little bit deep off the curb there? HK, no, he manages to get away with it. So Munken's coming up to look for the inside onto turn 2. Or is this turn 1? Depends if you count the bend at the beginning. Sticks it on the inside. And there's a little bit of lag and contact coming through out of the exit of there, and Boulder's trying to hang it out the outside but doesn't have enough room. This is going to give Munken a slip coming into the next left-hander, and will he be able to make a dive up the inside for it? Not yet, so that's forming a little train in the mid-pack all by themselves. Was that Fudo? No, Mike Jansen has completely binned it on that one. Let's just jump back and see what happened as he comes round the corner. Is he just going to get... he gets his tyres on the dirt, and once that happens, that is it. You are off, and Inorganic makes a brilliant overtake coming up the hill over his teammate, although Banana looks like he wants to have that one back, and they're going to be last of the late breakers coming into the corkscrew. Manages to get that move done and dusted. Boyan has managed to pick himself up a half-second penalty, so that is going to cost him as we start again down the start-finish straight. However, still 9 laps of this race left, so plenty of time left to catch up to those in front of him. So let's jump forwards to see what happens. Munken now up into 6th. Revelit's managed to make a bit of space. So we'll just drop back a little bit just to see how Bird's getting on. He's managing to get back on the horse and got plenty of clear air ahead of him, so he's going to catch up. So Go has somehow managed to get a very sizable advantage over second place. So what's happened to Pusher? We'll just drop back perhaps a lap. There we go. We'll see what happens between these guys and then we'll catch up to where we were. Goes very deep into the first corner. This allows Lord Hands. Oh, and he gets real squirrely as well. Ultimately keeping it pointing in the right direction. Goes a little bit wide again, perhaps feeling a little bit unsettled with the beginning of this lap. Kicks up a little bit of dirt on the exit, but you can keep your foot in it on that. It's pretty much the only corner on this track where if you get on the dirt you can keep your foot in it, but there you certainly cannot. So that is going to have cost him a huge amount of time. Lord Hands comes flying by up the hill. And now with dirty tyres he's going to be compromised for the next 20 or 30 seconds. So even into the corkscrew he's going to be slightly compromised, but he manages to get it stuck and keeps a good line through there. So now this is going to be a good recovery drive for him if he wants to get back to the front end, and he's already closed the gap to Lord Hands in front of him. So that McLaren doing very well for him. Benke, however, is up into 4th place and gets a really good exit. Lord Hands doesn't quite do so well out of the last corner, and that allows Benke, with the phenomenal acceleration of the Ferrari, to get past by way before the first corner. So that is a slam dunk move for Benke. Now he's just going to want to try and get ahead of Pusher for as many points as possible out of the sprint race. There's a bit of a gap. Oh, his Pusher is still going, well, quite literally pushing it. Trying to get as much as possible, and oh, he's all over the road. He's pushed it a bit too much there, and has cost him as Lord Hands is trying to make a move again. Coming up to the hill, Pusher kicking up dirt one more time. He's got to try and keep it within track limits a little bit better than that. But Lord Hands not able to make an opportunity out of it and has somewhat compromised his line. So now the teammate Reveille is going to try to make a move into the corkscrew. Lord Hands goes a little bit deep but manages to get it stuck and keeps the position. So great racing from these guys. So we'll drop out. Munken is in 6th place still. Having a, oh, is he going to manage to keep it pointing? No, that is it. It's going to cost him dearly. Front and rear damage. And he's going to try and rejoin the track at a safe point. Very aware and conscious of people around him as he goes a little bit wide. Fudo very spatially aware and gets through the last corner without making any contact with Munken, so good driving from him. Inorganic also makes a move, capitalising on Munken's mistake. But Munken will be desperate to get back ahead. Or maybe he'll be opting for a strategic move and he just wants to get to 10th place and then he can get the reverse grid pole for the feature. Let's wait and see how that one pans out. So, behind Banana in 12th, Bird closing the gap a little bit to those ahead of him in 13th. Gaz is up to 14th place now with a half-second penalty, but still managing to do a good job. Mike has definitely not had a good race. I think he said that earlier on the comms, if that was you. There's so many different names, usernames that people have. I'm not entirely too sure who's who, but probably had an off at some point, which is very easily done. So back at the front then, Gum has a sizable advantage over Benke in 2nd place, who's managed to get past Pusher. Well, I think, had he already done that one? I can't remember. So Mike, yeah, not your cup of tea. Not everyone's cup of tea. I did find it difficult myself. Pusher still managing to go for a podium here as we approach the halfway mark of the sprint race, keeping it within track limits this time round. Let's just stick on board with him just for the next corner or two to see if he can do it again. Goes a little bit wide through that corner and he's gets away with it, kicks up a little bit more dirt. So Lord Hans and Reveille behind. Will Reveille look to make a move coming into the corkscrew again? The Renault of Lord Hans certainly has got plenty of power to get him up the hill. So he's not able to... Oh, that helmet, it's just ridiculous. Bolden out in 6th place, holding pretty consistent lap times there in the second of the Ferrari. This will be a good result for the Ferrari team if they can finish where they are at the minute for the Constructors' Championship. HK is the second Renault, doing a really good job. Loads of time over Boyan and Inorganic, who are battling tooth and nail for this bit of tarmac in front of them. Will that bump on the sausage curb have cost Boyan? The acceleration of that Citroen is ridiculous, frankly, so he does manage to keep the position. It looked a little bit like Inorganic wanted to go for a dive on the inside, but it was a bit soon. Is he going to try and hang out on the outside, maybe get the cut back? Good defensive. Oh, Boyan's gone all over the... Why has he gone so wide? And he gets on the day. He's just completely left the door wide open for Inorganic to get through there. That is a strange move. Not too sure why he's done that one at all. But Inorganic is not going to say no to that. So now we've got Munken trying to get ahead of Fudo for that reverse grid pole. And he is all over the back bumper of him, has a little sniff to the inside, but he can't really overtake on that point. So will he go for a drag race up to the beginning of the corkscrew? Gonna have to hang it around the outside. Thinks better of it. Fudo not getting a very good exit. Is that going to compromise him coming through to the next left? Munken definitely could have made a bit more of a move on the left hand side of the downhill section there over Fudo, but opting to not go for it after having an off already. He definitely doesn't want to compromise his line and have a low percentage overtake. He wants to be absolutely certain that he is going to get the position ahead of him. Excuse me. So Bird is all the while catching up to those in front of him, now in 12th place. Banana, a little bit of a lonely race in 13th. Mike is back up to 14th. And Gaz is in the kitty litter. I think we can safely assume that Gaz doesn't like this track either, as Gum is coming up to, he's well over half a lap closer to Gaz, maybe even a quarter of a lap before an opportunity to lap, but I don't think we've got enough laps for that to happen. So Gum is having a very good race at the front of the grid. Surprisingly looking after his tyres really well as well for the Genesis. Notoriously not very good on its tyres. Very quick, but yeah, definitely destroys its front tyres. But he's doing a very good job of the tyre management so far. Benke in second place, and Pusher is beginning to close the gap, it looks like. As he understeers through the right-hander, and that has allowed Pusher to close up the gap massively. Now he's going to have to go to the inside. Is Benke going to keep it left? No, he doesn't. He leaves the door open. Can Pusher go for it? He's having a look. He's not quite alongside enough to make a move coming into the left-hander as he goes wide yet again. We should have a little counter for that, shouldn't we? Coming up to the hill, all the while these two are fighting. That is allowing those behind Pusher and Lord Hans and Reveille to close the gap. And if either of these two make a mistake, then That is going to allow those behind us. Benke goes really deep into the gravel, slightly compromises his line, but manages to keep it on the blacktop, and importantly ahead of Pusher behind him. And as he come out that last corner, the acceleration of the Ferrari is always going to be difficult for Pusher to get to close in the McLaren. It's the same with the Aston Martin Vantage. It has just ridiculous acceleration. It's so difficult to overtake coming out of corners, even if you get a good exit. So we'll just drop back because we can see HK and Inorganic look to be having a little battle as well between these two guys. Although so far it's a bit of a stalemate. Both these cars fairly equally matched, but Inorganic does get a good run. Is he going to look for a dive to the inside? It looked a little bit like HK went wide there, but I think they both did. Coming up to the hill, is Inorganic going to get it on the inside? Somehow HK manages to hang it around the outside and keep the position as he gives him a little squeeze coming into the entrance of the corkscrew. Side by side they go, and that's it. Inorganic loses it on the left hand side. Really difficult to keep a tight line coming through that corner. So HK lives to tell the tale for that one. Bird now up to 9th, having a great recovery. Wasn't that long ago he was in 12th. So he's having a good recovery drive. Fudo still hanging on to reverse grid pole. Banana now in 11th, and Munkin is definitely not enjoying himself. He's dropped down to 12th, so I'm not too sure where that happened, but he will be screwing. He needs the points, but he might, unless he can do something to pull a miracle out of the bag really to get up to 10th. This is going to be a very difficult race for him. So Boyan is in 13th, Mike in 14th, Gaz in 15th, still at the back, and Gum, only one corner separates him and Gaz now, having an absolutely stellar race at the front. Might have been a bit boring, but I'm sure he'll take it all day long. A sizable advantage over those behind him. So what are we now? 7.5, maybe 8 seconds ahead of Benke behind him. So doing a fantastic job, and Lord Hans has somewhere managed to get past Pusher. Pusher has binned it. Well, no, let's just quickly drop back. So Pusher was in 3rd here on lap 8, trying to catch Benke. Where did it happen? Went a little bit deep into turn number 1, but keeps the gap to Lord Hans behind him, and he's got a huge amount of overspeed. Catches up with Benke massively into turn 3 or 2, and now he's going to have to get a good drive coming into the left-hander. Will he manage to get in? Pusher's lap 9, was it? Right, well, let's jump forward a little bit. Still right behind him. Thanks for the heads up on that one. So this is where we've seen Pusher push it a little bit too much on every lap, and are we going to see it again as he really closes the gap, almost touches the bumper of Benke. He keeps it out of the gravel, but what will we see? Absolutely brilliant exit, a little bit of rubbing, but hey, that's racing. So we come into the corkscrew, oh, contact, and he's gone a bit deep. Is that going to compromise? Yeah, oh, yeah, that is a shame. So after an absolutely brilliant stint attacking Benke for second place, he just overcooks it a little bit going into the corkscrew and pays the penalty. Revelet is defending ahead, but I don't think he's going to have any match against the Ferrari acceleration out of the corner. So Boulder doing a great job getting up to fourth. He was in sixth not long ago, so this is going to be an excellent result for the Ferrari teammates. 2 laps left and his tyres looking really good. Will he be able to do anything to catch up to Lord Hans in front of him? We'll just drop back a little bit just to see, because there was a little bit of something with these guys. It looked like there was very close on the radar, but HK managing to hold Inorganic at bay so far. Bird still in 9th, Fudo still in 10th, and we can probably assume the order hasn't changed much behind them, so we're going to jump back up to see these guys. Although quite a little bit of space between each of them now, not as close as they were earlier. But Lord Hans will definitely be trying to close the gap to Benke in front, and they are very close. You can see Benke's front right is definitely on the way out. So you go for an overtake on Lord Hans at the end. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that one. Boulder definitely got the best tyres out of the 3 of them at the minute, so, and going purple this sector, so he's on for a hot lap. Ooh, that's not going to be very good for your time, mate. Although with the 2 fighting ahead, it will allow you to close up much quicker than they're probably anticipating. So just jump back on board again as Lord Hans goes a little bit deep, not quite managing to make the apex of that corner. Through the corkscrew for the penultimate time. Nice clean line. Definitely cut the curbs a lot more through that section if you're willing to risk it. So Revelet is not far behind Boulder, trying to push for an overtake, but Lord Hans driving has not been as good as he wants it to be, because Benke's managed to just pull the gap away a little bit, even with his worn tyres, and you can see how much the difference between them. They're night and day. So perhaps through the next couple of big left-handers we'll see him close up. And look how much Boulder and Revelet have closed already. In 2 corners, Boulder's managed to catch up to Lord Hans in front of him as he almost goes off on the right-hander. So looking into this bit of the left-hander up the hill, beginning up to the corkscrew. Is he going to go for a risky move on the inside? It looks like he is, as he gets contact a little bit, but keeps it okay, and Revelet's managed to get through as well. It's going to be a fight into the corkscrew. Oh, Revelet gets the position done. Great fighting from these guys. I'm going to have to quickly jump forward because here comes Gum, and we can drop back to see these guys. So Gum, I think this is his 2nd win of the season so far, or at least that's what I can remember, and he's absolutely stellar drive from him, coming across first in the sprint. Benke keeps 2nd position. Lord Hans is in 3rd still. Revelet has managed to get that position on the last lap from Boulder in 5th. Pusher will be disappointed with a 6th place finish from where he started, but it's still a good points haul, and manages to, as Inorganic finally gets past HK. So we'll just quickly jump back and see when that one happened. just jump forward a little bit to see where this was. Is it going to be a forced error from HK coming up to the hill, beginning up to the corkscrew? Coming up to the last sector now. Oh, as he goes deep into the corkscrew, but keeps it all pointing in the right way. So this is, it's down to the penultimate corner. Oh, inorganic, going really wide. What happens here? Oh, HK's binned it on the last corner. That is absolutely shocking. Oh, what a giveaway. Oh, he will be so annoyed with himself. Bird manages to take 9th. Munkin has managed to catch back up to the back of Fudo, but not enough on the last lap, and misses out on the reverse grid pole. That is a shame for him. Banana in 12th. Boyan coming up. Oh, as Mike has a cheeky look to the inside and a little bit of a bump. Gonna cost him. Go a little bit squirrely on the exit of the final corner, and that still hands Boyan his 13th place. And Mike takes 14th. And Gaz, not too far behind, gets it across the line in 15th place. So there we have it. That is the sprint race done. Now, just gotta bear with me a moment whilst we find the feature race, because I didn't get, well, Bird uploaded the replays and we're not, I didn't realise I didn't have him as a friend on the PSN, so I couldn't get access to them. So Benku's uploaded these ones for us, and he was just uploading, where's it gone? Laguna Seca, there it is. He was uploading the feature race whilst the sprint was on. So there it is, the feature. Thank you, Benki, for uploading this. Right, let's load it, and then we will quickly get the replay loaded so we don't see who wins. Hopefully that was quick enough. Oh, what are we doing? There we go. No, wrong one. R2 is not the one. So let's just drop back then and run through. Oh, I've done the wrong thing. Right. Okay, let us run through from the back. So Falcon, who wasn't in the sprint race for some reason that I don't know of, is in last position as he joins the party for the feature race. Mike crashes lap 2 on the penultimate corner. Okay, right, well, we'll keep an eye out for that one on lap 2. So back to the grid lineup. Then Falcon in last position on the hard tyre. So assuming everybody went for the one stop in this this race. Don't think the two stop was particularly viable, seeing as the pit lane is a year long. Gaz in front on 15th place, going for the medium, so probably the reverse strategy here. And Mike's going for the soft. So unless you're going to pull a miracle out the bag and do a soft medium, I can already see this one going wrong. However, he's definitely going to make up a bunch of places on the opening lap. So we will make sure to keep an eye out for him. 13th place is Boyan on the hards as well. Banana going for the mediums at the back, trying to look to make a few moves in the opening lap. Munken in 11th, gutted to be starting there, I imagine, on the hards, but let's wait and see what he can do. He might still be able to make it up towards the podium by the end of the race. Gum, our winner of the sprint, starts in 10th on the hards. Then ahead of him is Benke on the mediums. Lord Hans opts for racing hards in 8th place, and Reveille on hards as well. Then Boulder starts on the mediums. Maybe the Ferraris could make the medium soft strategy work, and maybe the McLarens could as well, but Pusher goes for the hard tyre choice instead, as does Inorganic in 4th. HK opting for the hard tyre strategy as well in 3rd. Bird in 2nd place on the racing hards, as well as Fudo leads the pack on the mediums. So let's jump into this one as we have a rolling start, as always in the feature race, and see what carnage unfolds. No, it's not really going to be carnage, is it? Everyone is a respectful racer. No such thing as dodgy overtakes. None in this league. So, good start from everyone so far. Inorganic closing up to HK in front of him, as Boulder has made a position on Pusher already. So that is a great start from him. And he will be looking to make up on Inorganic in front of him as well, on the medium tyres. So this is a good start from Boulder, and we'll just quickly drop back down just to see how everyone else is doing, as it looks like Benke also on the mediums looking to make a move over Lord Hans. Oh, hitting the sausage curve, that's definitely going to throw your line off, as you can see, and takes the escape to the left hand side and has to get on the brakes, and and it's cost him a penalty as well. A full second. It's harsh when you have to slow down. So that'll be a disappointing start for him, as Munken is still in 11th place. Banana is in 12th. Mike's in 13th place with Falcon behind him. Falcon already up to 14th. Making a couple of places. Oh, as Mike goes deep into the gravel. Dirty tyres and a slow exit from that corner. So Falcon is definitely going to be hunting him down after that mistake. Quickly looking ahead, as Gum is trying to make a move on the outside of Lord Hans. Is he going to have the grip? He's definitely going to have the power, and Munken looked like he was going to try and go down the middle of the two of them then. I think Gum's gone off the track a little bit, and that's compromised his exit speed, so Lord Hans has managed to get it back as he dives to the inside. But he compromises a little bit too much, and that's going to allow Munken through. Oh, and Benke and Banana are both there as well to capitalise on his mistake. Keeps the inside, and he's hit the sausage curb again. Banana trying to have a sniff as it comes into the... Oh, somebody's off. Let's just quickly jump back. So what happened ahead here? Who goes off? Oh, it's one of the McLarens. Reveille is absolutely binned it through the corkscrew. Is he taking the too tight a line on the left hand side? It does look like he might have done. No, just has to overcorrect a little bit, unweights the car, and that is going to be very disappointing for him. So, oh no, that's just the worst, isn't it? Spins again. So Falcon coming in. Oh, on Mike. Let's just jump back and we'll see if we can drive on board with this. On Mike's point of view, it comes in a little bit of a tap from the back, yeah. Unsettles the rear of the car. Manages to get it pointed in the right direction again afterwards though, so it's not a full spin. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. Although this is a replay, that was a little bit of a commentator's curse. So, disappointing for Mike there. Whether or not that one went to the stewards, I imagine it probably did. So a little bit of sloppy driving from Falcon in front of him. But he's now up to 12th place. Banana in 11th. Gum up to 10th. Benke is in 9th. Munker now up to 8th place from his 11th place start on the grid. So already starting to work his way up the order. That's a good start from him. Oh, I see. You quitted the race. That is a shame, Mike. Definitely a difficult evening for you. So Munken is up to 9th place now. Benke is in 8th place. I feel like he's lost a couple of positions, maybe from where he started. No, he started in 9th, didn't he? So he's one up at least. Lord Hans is in 7th place. Boulder is in 6th place, with Pusher having a good start in 5th place. HK in 4th. Inorganic now quite comfortably ahead of HK behind him in 3rd place. So we'll begin to see these guys start to settle into their groove for the first stint on their hards. Bird still in 2nd, with a bit of a gap to Fudo ahead of him as well, and I think Fudo was on the medium, so definitely trying to make the most out of those mediums to gap him, but he probably wants to be going a little bit quicker to make the pit stop more effective for him when he comes down to that one. We'll probably see him coming in maybe around lap 10 as Bird manages to go very deep but keeps it on the tarmac eventually and sacrifices a little bit of speed for his dirty tyres. Inorganic coming across the line for the 5th time. Now Pusher is not giving HK any room to breathe really. HK will have his mirrors full as Boulder comes diving down the inside of turn 1. Closing the gap up massively, using the better grip of the medium tyre with a little tap. Definitely a difficult place or track to overtake is Laguna Seca, but we'll see what Boulder can do in that Ferrari. Pusher getting a very good line through here up to that mic goes off again at lap 6. Right, we'll keep an eye out for it. Oh, Zach Pusher's gone deep. Oh, and he's given away the position to Boulder. He didn't even have to work for it really. He's got a big enough gap to Benke behind him though, but he's also on a medium tyre, so Pusher's not going to be able to do too much as Benke just gives the place to Lord Hans, what happened here? So Lord Hans was ahead of him coming up the hill to the corkscrew, gets ahead of him, has track position really, and I mean, Lord Hans goes off, but I don't see how that's his fault. He was ahead, makes the apex and closes the door, so he's really, Lord Hans should just yield that one. Goes off track, but fair play, Benke gives him the place back. And now he's got to do it all over again. Oh, as we see something happening at the back, let's just jump on. I think it was that Banana that managed to go round on the last corner. Munken has got a... Oh, he gets a little tap from Gum, and that just spins him round. So Munken has a penalty that he's just served, and Mike is coming through into 11th. Round the first hairpin they go. Gum gets it all kinds of wrong. Mike going to manage to make a move as Munken comes absolutely barreling in. It looked like there was a little bit of lag there as well, and that's just going to push Mike off. Oh, that is so frustrating for him. So Banana has recovered back to 13th place from his spin with quite a sizable gap in front of him. He's going to ruin his strategy on the medium tyres. Rivulet behind him in 14th on the hard, so definitely get the jump on the pit lane here. Pit strategy with this one, as we've got another yellow flag overhead. So what is going on up here? Do we see anything happening? It'll probably be at the corkscrew. It is at the corkscrew, and it's Pusher again. He's gone a bit too eager into the corkscrew. Well, it wasn't him last time, was it? It was his teammate. And he's done a carbon copy of the thing that Revelet did, even to the point he's got into the same barrier that he's got into as well. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Oh, fortunately ghosting. There is Mike comes through him. So a relatively good result for in the sprint for the McLaren boys, but not a good result so far in the feature race. So we'll jump up as Benke looks for a move on the inside of Lord Hans again, but they're both quite cautiously braking through the left hand hairpin. Benke definitely needs to make something of what tyres he's got left. He's only got a few more laps before these mediums start to really drop off, and then the hards will come into their window and start outperforming them. So he wants to get this move done on Lord Hans. He's going to have to get a brilliant exit coming up the hill and go for a move into the corkscrew. Will we see him do it? Oh, he goes a little bit deep, avoids contact. Both opting to take the wider line on the downhill section from the corkscrew. I mean, it's very clean from the pair of them, but if I were Benke, he would need to make a move to make the most of that medium compound tyre, because all the while he's just going to be losing time overall to those that are ahead of him on the hard tyre, such as Lord Hans. So this is completely working for Lord Hans at the minute. Oh, as he doesn't quite make a move on that one. Lord Hans goes a little bit deep, and Benke doesn't quite have enough acceleration to get the position out of the hairpin. So let's just drop back and see how these guys are doing. Falcon is up to 8th, Gum is in 9th, Munken is in 10th, Mike still in 11th place, Pusher now down to 12th with his teammate behind in 13th. Smile and wave, boys. Banana is in 14th place, Boyan in 15th with his teammate Gaz behind in 16th. Fudo doing a great job at the front of the track, still in first place, although not a particularly big gap to Bird or Inorganic behind him, so you can see the difference in the tyres. The mediums definitely starting to fall off now. As Bird manages to close the gap to Fudo, and Inorganic not too far behind. Boulder's managed to close that gap as well, but the mediums of the Ferrari looking a lot better than the mediums on the Lexus of Fudo. So we might still see a medium soft strategy from the Ferraris. It's a very difficult one. He's got to get himself to lap 19, I think, to make the mediums work for the one stop. So after the next lap or two, that's really going to hurt. But he manages to make it through so far. Inorganic still doing a good job in 3rd. Hey, don't worry, Pusher, I enjoy doing the comms. This is it's great to watch these guys race, or you guys race. It's quite a spectator sport. So nothing really much happening at the front, which is good news, I suppose. So we'll drop back to see what's happening back here. So the two Renault drivers now in 5th and 6th. Benke's in 7th with Gum in 8th place. Now Falcon's had a mistake at some point, because he was up to 8th not that long ago. Where did it happen? There we are. Let's just... Oh, he goes... It's coming up the hill, isn't it? Will he get the sausage curb? Nope, he just goes way too quick and goes off the right hand side through the gravel, going up the hill, and that gives away a couple of positions. And his teammate's going to come through as well. He's got dirty tyres. He's not going to be able to do anything to hold off his teammate, who will have, a little bit of team orders. Maybe they have a party chat open. Oh, as he goes wide. No, he doesn't manages to keep it on the track. Maybe they have a party chat open so they can talk to each other whilst they're driving. But that's going to be disappointing for him, all the way back down to 10th. As Mike is probably on his last lap with those softs. And I think we were a little bit further ahead there, weren't we? So we'll jump back up to where everybody was. Mike comes in after 10 laps, or 9 laps really, on the beginning of his 10th lap, for some new tyres. Will he go for softs or mediums? Sorry, not softs, mediums or hards. It's a shame they don't have the corresponding colour on the side of the tyre wall so you can tell during this graphic. So he comes out on the hards, still doing a one stop. That's a long time to go on the hard tyre though. So he's in 14th place. Banana comes up to 13th. Revelit is in 12th with his teammate in 11th. Falcon down to 10th, or up to 10th really, because he started in 11th, but not as far as he was like, as Munken has managed to get past Lord Hands at some point as well. So let's just quickly drop back. Where did this happen? Nope, that's not right, is it? This must be somewhere up here. So Munkin in 9th, comes through the corkscrew. Lord Hans has... That would be better, wouldn't it? Let's just see what he does. So he's in 5th place. He comes up to this corkscrew with his teammate behind. Is he going to go too deep? Oh, late on the brakes, and yep, another one in the kitty litter. Managing to avoid a repetition of what the McLaren boys have done there. So rejoins the track quickly, but loses out a whole bunch of positions, which he will be screwing over, because that was going to be a good result for him as he gets on the gravel again, and he's round. Oh no. So, and then he gets reset, and he gets a penalty because he was in the pit lane. That is... Oh, come on. I mean, that is ridiculous. The game can't do that. I mean, it has done that, but... Oh, the penalty system in this game sometimes just sucks. It's so broken. So Lord Hans now has a 3-second penalty, so that's going to cost him 5 or 6 seconds when he has to serve it, and it's on the start-finish straight, so it's just going to go from bad to worse for him. Rivulet and Pusher have benefited from that though. Excuse me, with a little yawn. Falcon still in 9th, Monka in 8th, Gum up to 7th, and Benke in 6th. The mediums beginning to drop off as HK just about manages to hang on through the corkscrew, but that's allowed Benke to completely close the gap. And he goes deep. Is Benke going to get the inside line? Coming into the penultimate corner, he's on the outside. He's going to get the move done, is he? Oh, that is an absolutely brilliant overtake from Benke. And Gum's going to have a look down the inside of Benke now as well. He doesn't quite make it on Benke, but he's on the inside of HK and gets the move. The power of the Genesis going to get the move done. HK's just ahead still. They're going to have a drag race down to the left-hand hairpin. Oh, a little bit of contact. Managed to keep it just about. Oh, and HK gives him a little bump up the rear and wants to let him know that he's still there, and he's not quite got away with it. Oh, there's a compromised entry to the right-hander with the sausage curb, and that has allowed Munkin through as well. So brilliant move from Gum there, and Munkin is the one, sorry, HK is the one that loses out the most as he goes wide off the gravel, kicks a load of dirt up, but manages to keep it pointing in the right direction. As we say that, he goes off again, but Falcon's gone off again behind him as well. He's followed him into the dirt. So it's definitely going to help these guys if they can keep it on the black stuff. Oh, HK getting a little bit squirrely on the exit of the corkscrew. All that dirt, you get 2 tyres on the dirt and you get 20 seconds of low grip. So every time you do it, it is going to compromise your lap time and corner exit and entry. Every time. So we'll just jump forward again, because now I can imagine that Bird has managed to close the gap to Fudo in front. Or Boulder has definitely closed the gap to Inorganic. All 3 of them up here. I think Bird must have had a bad exit, because he was going a lot slower along that straight. But coming up the hill now, the power of the Genesis is going to allow him to keep the position, as Boulder had a very brave look on the inside. Not a place you can overtake usually, but doesn't get the corner right, and that allows Inorganic to have a bit more breathing room and keep his position in 3rd. So Fudo doing an amazing job on the mediums. I don't think he's going to make it to lap 19 if he's trying to do the medium soft one stop. The Lexus is a little bit heavier on the front of the on the front tyres. So we do see a little bit of tyre wear, but with careful driving you can eke out the tyre life. And I think it looked a little bit like Fudo was closing on the back of Gaz as Gaz goes off. And they're not far now. Gaz medium tyres doing much better than Fudo is. But within their sights now. So will we see our first lap, or lapped, the driver of the night? As Fudo comes up the hill and, oh, what happened here? So Boulder's trying to make himself appear in the mirrors of Inorganic in front of him, but Bird just goes wide and into the gravel. That's going to completely leave the door open for Inorganic, who gets the move done, well, the overtake done into the corkscrew, but somehow Bird has managed to absolutely hang it on the outside and keep the position. So that's great driving from him. Inorganic probably a little bit surprised about that and has now got, had Boulder all over the back of him. So what happened here? They come, oh no, yeah. Ping pong physics of the game doing their bit. You see a little bit of contact on the right hand side from Inorganic, and it just absolutely sends him, completely sends him off the track. All that hard work done from Boulder as Inorganic comes into the pit on lap 14. So disappointing for Boulder there. Gets the third place position, but not the way he would have wanted, and loses a bunch of time to Bird in front of him. So now he's going to do it all over again as Gaz takes avoiding action with the blue flags. So very good considerate driving from him. So Bird still quite a bit of distance off Fudo ahead of him. Fudo probably would have wanted to make a bit more of a gap behind, or a gap to Bird behind him. However, it is what it is, and his tyres will definitely be falling off now. But will we see the hard runners beginning to come in? In fact, I think we'll probably see Fudo come in this lap. This is around about the pit window for most people, and Fudo stays out for another lap on his medium, so it looks like he might be trying to make the medium soft work. In which case, if he can, fair play, he's still got Bird behind him who will be doing the hard medium, so if he can make this work, this will be brilliant. A brilliant drive from Fudo. Well, Benke's come in on his mediums, HK pusher 2. Look at the difference in the fuel. So HK with 24% of his fuel, pusher, well, was 40 when he entered the pit. Doing a fantastic job of fuel saving. So what's he gonna, he's gonna get 2 or 3 seconds of pit time back. We might even see him make a few jumps for position after this one, so we'll just stay on board with him for a moment just to see where he comes out in relation to everyone else around him. Benke keeps his position ahead, but look at that, such a short pit stop, and he's completely jumped HK, and a much lower fuel load as well. It's only 61% coming out of the pit lane, but if he can make the fuel work, then he doesn't need as much. He'll look after his tyres better because he's got lighter fuel, and that's a sublime move from Pusher, and there's still people ahead of him that need to pit as well. So well done that man. Just got to keep it on the track. So Benke right behind HK, as we see Fudo come in, not being able to make it to lap 19 on the mediums. So will we see Fudo? Oh yeah, no, definitely not an option for him to stay out for any more laps. He would have got a flat tyre in the next few corners. So he goes for another medium. So he's... Oh, I don't know. I'm a bit speechless. Oh no, he's gone for a soft. There we go. Right, so that is a definite two-stop. It's a definite two-stop. You can't do 12 laps on a soft. Absolutely not. So we will see him come in again. That is a bit of a shame. You've got to admire the optimism. But he'll be able to put in some stellar laps now and catch up with those in front of him that are still on their hard tyres. Munken, all of these guys really should think about pitting now. The medium tyres will definitely last 14-15 laps quite easily. So Bird comes in on the hard tyre. We've already seen no, we haven't seen Boulder come in. He's going to try and make it go to lap 19 for the one-stop medium soft. Munken stays out again. I mean, unless he's trying to go for a hard soft strategy, that is a brave move, but it might well work for him if he can get to lap, let's say 20, which he could quite easily do. In fact, he could probably go to 21 or 22. He's got plenty enough tyres left and enough fuel, I would say, for at least 3 or 4 laps. So this could be a sublime strategy for Munken if it works out. So Fudo behind him now, inorganic on a fresh set of medium boots in 4th place. That is pretty much for position, although he will get one back from Fudo, because Fudo will have to pit again, even if he's trying not to. Bird is in 5th. Gum, his teammate, is in 6th, who is also going for the two-stop, it would seem. I'm not too sure how many, so what was it, lap 14, so he's done 3 laps so far on his soft tyres, and they're nearly halfway done. So it's an optimistic strategy doing the two-stop, but you never know. I am more than happy to be proven wrong. I was at Tokyo with, I think it was Unimo in the GTR, managed to pull off a blinding two-stop. So, Bird leads Gun for the Genesis team, then Banana in 7th with Pusher all over the back of him. As Pusher managed to get a good exit, not good enough, but he's going to have the slip as they come all the way down the start-finish straight. That Mazda is fast. Unfortunately, Pusher not able to make any kind of move into... Oh, as I say that, as he gets a much better line and exit through the left-hand hairpin and gets a huge overspeed and completely sends it past Banana, who gets a huge dollop of oversteer on the right-hander, which just lets him seal the position. Boulder now in 1st place coming into the pit lane. Will he have enough of a gap to Munken behind? I don't think he will. Munken will be staying out for at least another lap or 2, and we might well see Banana in this lap as well, doing a very good job getting the mediums to go this far. Oh, you can see that the tyre wear just isn't there anymore. He just doesn't have the grip to keep it pinned. He has to brake a lot earlier to make the same kind of, or take the same kind of line. So will we see him pit? Gets a little bit of boost there. He doesn't pit. He's going to go for another lap. Brave stuff from Banana. Pusher with his fresh mediums will take that move all day long. As we see, Boulder has just come out just behind Boulder and in front of Gum, so separating the Genesis teammates, going for the medium soft strategy and making it work. So he's going to have a huge amount of overspeed to Bird in front of him on the mediums. They're still new mediums, but he's going to have a good second or so's advantage over him per lap, and he's probably got about 5 laps of usable tyre life to get that done and make enough of a gap before Bird starts to close. So Munker now comes into the pit lane to get rid of his hard tyres, as these guys, which will probably be looking to be the ones he wants to get out in front of, and he's not going to do it, as he's still not even got to the pit yet to get his fuel. And now he's getting his fuel, so not working out brilliantly, but he might still make this one work. We'll see him come out on the soft tyre in 6th place, so it's still not a bad result considering where he started. He's just going to have Pusher on the right hand side. You can see him on the radar. Is he going to close the gap off? He doesn't. Pusher is allowed to go through as they get a little bit of contact already, and that pushes Munker off wide. Dirt on his brand new tyres. So the next quarter of a lap is going to be a little bit compromised for Munken, but he will have superior grip, especially when they get to the corkscrew. So will we see anything happen from these two? As I think it looks like I think it's Boulder and whoever's behind him. Oh, and Pusher goes very deep. Oh, and he plows into the side of Munken, but somehow keeps on the track. Munken really saving him as as he was about to do a like for like for the 3rd time for the McLaren driver. Off the corkscrew and into the wall. So we'll just jump ahead now because is it Bird and Boulder in front? Oh, it might have been a bit earlier. These guys looked like they were very close. In fact, it was, because Boulder was behind Bird. Where did this one happen? It will be coming up into the corkscrew. Oh, on the beginning of the hill, so that's a pretty easy move for him, making use of the tyres. We'll catch back up to where we were. Right then, let's have a quick look through everybody again. It was... Whoop, no, let's just jump back again. So, one of the Citroen drivers coming out of the pit lane, Fudo managing to hold it back in 1st place still, but he's going to have to make a second pit stop because his tyres just aren't going to last. Inorganic in 2nd on merit and hoping for a 1st place on the medium tyres. Look at the difference between them already. And desperately trying to make a move to the inside as they come up to the hill, but you can see he just has to back out, play it sensible. There's no point taking both of them out and losing position. So Boulder behind Inorganic in 3rd place. He will be on an absolute charge to catch up with Inorganic. And I would imagine that Inorganic and Fudo will be battling so much that they are actually compromising their lap time, so it's going to play into the hands of Boulder in third place. Bird in fourth, just trying to keep it as consistent as possible and hang on to the back of Boulder in front of him. And then we have a pretty sizable gap then to his teammate Gum in fifth, who has come in for his second set of soft tyres. But will he have to take on fuel? So there's a bit so Munken gets the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:23.898. That is quick on the soft tyre, and he will also be charging down Bird in front of him. Will he make that by the end of the race? Let's just jump on and pick ourselves a position, as somewhere Fudo has made quite a big mistake. So, oh, look at Inorganic and Boulder, the soft tyre's completely spent now, goes off into the gravel, loses the positions and has dirty tyres, so that's going to compromise him even further coming up the start of the hill, as Bird gets a much better drive out of the corner. Fudo's just going to have to pit for a new set of soft tyres. Oh, and they can get a bit more contact through the left-hander. He's just almost goes into the back of him with a reduced grip. He's just he's got to pit. There's just no choice. I can't see how he's going to carry on. He's got 6 laps of this race left, and he's only done, well, he's done 6 laps, but he's going to try it. He's going to try it. Fair enough. So then, Boulder racing for the lead once more against Inorganic, and he's only got a couple of laps probably before the soft tyres start to fade. No Chaos, they will not last. Believe you were in a Lexus, or are in a Lexus, so you would have, or maybe it was a couple of seasons ago, but you would have very good knowledge of how good that car is on its tyres, or how not good it is on its tyres. So Boulder's going to need to set this move up a couple of corners in advance to get a slip past Inorganic ahead of him, because it is just so difficult to get an overtake done around this track. Unless somebody makes a pretty big mistake, there isn't really much you can do. So Inorganic is driving a little bit defensively, taking slightly defensive lines, just trying to cover off a last minute move from Boulder. But so far Inorganic is just doing a stellar job of defending. So Bird pretty comfortable in third place now. Fudo is what is Fudo doing? He's having a very optimistic race. I mean, he's got a big enough gap to Munken behind. He's also on softs, but he's doing a much better job of looking after them. In fact, let's just jump on with him just for a moment, because you can, as he's driving around, you just listen for the tyre squeal just a little bit going through there, but even through the first right-hander before that, barely any tyre squeal, and again hardly anything coming through each corner. Gets his brake in just in the right spot, trail brakes through the corners, slows it down enough, just a little bit of squeal, which, you know, you kind of expect it a little bit on the higher speed corners, but hardly anything. And all the time, just that lack of tyre squeal is just looking after the tyres. Whoop, spoke too soon. But all the time he is just looking after those tyres so much better all that squealing is just scrubbing your grip. So you can see why he's managed to make his hards last so long as they did, and his softs are so much better than Fudo ahead of him, who's just got nothing left. So Munken's on a charge to catch him down. Pusher's now up into 6th, Revelet, his teammate, behind him in 7th. Both of them on the mediums with plenty of life left. HK is up to 8th, trying to recover from his little outing into the kitty litter, before Benke, doing the same in 9th, opted for the hard tyres instead of the softs, and that's all as he goes completely deep into the first corner, and that completely leaves him open for Gum to just say thank you very much and slide on through. So good drive from Gum, as he also is trying to make his soft tyres as useful as possible, and he will be chasing HK down ahead of him. 3 laps left to go. It might be a bit of a tall order, but he's never say never. I mean, he's got plenty of life left, and HK is now beyond 50% worn on his front right, so he's going to start dropping off quicker and quicker each lap. So Benke's now in 10th place, Lord Hans in 11th, Falcon in... oh, where did Falcon just go? Oh, Falcon's in 13th, Gaz is in 14th place, and we've had 2 people drop out of this race already. Obviously one of them was Mike, and I'm not too sure who the other one was. So Gaz is doing his stellar best, keeping it on the track in 14th place. Now we have... oh, we've had a change for the lead. When did this happen? Inorganic. What happened to Inorganic? So he loses a position going up the hill to the corkscrew, which, you know, they're both on different tyre compounds. Oh, Boulder goes way too deep. Looks like he might give the position back. Oh, and then he gets tagged and gets absolutely wiped out into the gravel. And oh, it's so painfully slow trying to get out. Oh, and then he's got dirty tyres, so he can't get it pointed in the right direction. All the way down to 5th now. That is devastating for Inorganic. He stays out, as now Fudo has absolutely nothing left on that front right, as we thought. So going for the optimistic 1 stop in a Lexus, makes it a 2 stop, but we'll see where he manages to finish, because it's still a good drive from him. HK then will get up to 8th, Gum up to 9th, and then we've got Revelet in 6th, Pusher all the way back up to 5th now. Considering both of the McLaren drivers had their offs at the beginning of the race, they've done pretty well to get back up to the positions that they have. Inorganic is in 4th place, Munken now in 3rd, having a really good drive from him, considering he started in last place. Bird in 2nd. Oh, now this is interesting, because Boulder is down to a final 2 laps of fuel, whereas Bird is not there yet. So this could play into Bird's hands. He has got to just pick his right spot. The tyre's also looking a little bit better as well than Boulder, so Boulder's going to have to fuel save. And he's got to look after his tyres more as he slides it around that corner. It's not going to help him. What can Bird do here? Can we see a win from Bird in the feature? It's a bit of a gap at the minute, but there's still 1.5 laps left, or just over 1.5 laps left. If you can get his cornering done absolutely perfect each time, I can't see how he's not going to close the gap to Boulder. The soft tyres are definitely going to be harder to hold on to now. Boulder managing to do a really good job hanging on to those softs. Even the rear right is looking pretty bad, and we saw before at Deep Forest what happens once that Ferrari lets go. Admitted he got a little bit more tyre life than he did back there. But the acceleration of that Ferrari out of the corners is just so stellar that it's going to give Bird such a hard time to close the gap. But close the gap he is. I mean, look at that, he's all over the back of him now in one turn. What can he do? He can sniff the podium. Boulder's just got next to no fuel left. You can see him short shifting. Oh, giving it the beans up the hill though, trying to keep as much advantage as he possibly can. Oh, this is nail biting. I don't know how he's managed to get that Ferrari with so little fuel all the way to the end. Well, practice, eh? That's practice is what makes perfect. I'm gonna get my teeth back in. And that practice has definitely paid off, because Boulder has managed to get all the way to first place and held on. Bird comes along in second for the feature race. Munken having an absolutely blinding race as well, coming in from last place to get the third step on the podium. Inorganic, disappointed probably with a fourth place, but still a huge points haul. The McLaren boys managing to get 5th and 6th respectively, Pusher in 5th, Revelet in 6th, Gum comes along in 7th, still a very good result for him, making the strategy work. HK comes along in 8th, Fudo somehow, as he ploughs into the wall, manages to get 9th place. That's a good result for him, considering he did the 2-stop, probably the only person on the grid that did the 2-stop. Lord Hands in 10th place, Benke in the other Ferrari in 11th place now, comes across the line. Then we have Banana in the Mazda, if he can keep it pointing in the right direction. Why has Falcon come into the pit lane? He's got enough fuel. What happened there? I don't know. Not too sure what happened there. So Banana gets 12th. Will Gaz get? No. Gaz might get 13th before. No, Falcon come across the line. So, well, that was a great finish from the Tier 6 drivers at Laguna Seca. Unfortunately, I haven't got the standings as they are. In fact, let me just grab real quick off Discord. We can see what the results are pre-stewards. for these guys. Just give me 1 second. So a stellar drive from Munken has managed to retain that lead, but only just, because he is on 106 points, and Revelet in second place is also on 106 points. So I think that's because was Munken had a really poor finish for the sprint race, and I just realised so it wasn't Munken that started in last, it was his teammate Falcon. Inorganic still managing to keep third spot of the podium with 88 points. Then in fourth place we have Gum, who had a great race, with 75 points. Just 1 point behind him now is Pusher with 74 points. Then we have Boulder, really capitalising this week after missing last week's race, up to sixth place with 68 points. In seventh place is his teammate Benke with 65 points. Then we have Bird in eighth for the Genesis with 61 points. In ninth place is Lord Hands with 60 points, just 1 point behind. And rounding out the top 10, still considering he's missed 2 races, Unimo is there with 53 points. So wait and see what happens with the stewards. We may get a few changes to the results, but overall that was some phenomenal racing from Tier 6, and I'm very much looking forward to Barcelona next week. So have a good week and a good weekend, whatever you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you guys, same place, same time next week. This has been ALR, Aero League Racing. I've been Bluebeard. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next week.